Hello everyone, I wanted to get on here and talk about work. I'm a fraud analyst for those who don't know, and I'm also taking courses to enhance my career because I would like to be a criminal investigator. I mean a cyber investigator or fraud investigator, more like fraud investigations and financial crime. But today I took a midterm and the questions were like, all the above or none of the above? A and C, B and C. And the questions were driving me nuts. I was like, oh my gosh, when is this test over? Thankfully, there were just 20 questions. But anyway, I wanted to talk about some things that I've been seeing at work that kind of are hilarious. You know, it's funny to me how people think that they can just get away with anything. They can submit any fraud claim for any transaction and think that they can get their money back. For instance, the biggest thing that I've been handling is a case where I see the fraud claim and I see their ATM withdrawals, and there's a pen being used to withdraw the money. And I'm on the member's second claim, and I open the first claim, and it's the same fraud at the same ATM and for the same amount. It was like $580, which was like 2 ATM transactions. So then I started thinking about this, and I was like, I don't really think this is fraud. So then I called the number that activated the card. And sure enough, it is the daughter who activated it and used the money. She answers and says, oh, those are mine. You know, my mom keeps trying to get the money back from the credit union, but they're all mine. I've been struggling, and I've been telling my mom not to call the credit union, and she just went on and on. So there, right there, I caught her in elder abuse. She's been abusing her mother's funds, and taking advantage of her mother. Which then that escalates to the credit union, and they have to figure out or make the decision on what to do. And with that said, we had to freeze the card and ensure that that new card wasn't used or was in the mother's possession before it could be used. I told the mother, like, hide it in the freezer, hide it in between the mattress, move at all costs, just move. Because this daughter has been doing this over and over. Anyway, so there's that. I mean, it's terrible. We try and help the elderly as much as we can, but there's only so much we can do. And then the second claim that continues to rise, like this sort of fraud, it's called card cracking, where a member gets a card and goes to an ATM, deposits like $3,700, and then literally in 5 or 6 transactions has taken out all of that money. And then I watch the account, because I've already caught this member. You know, it looks like they're doing it fraudulent. They're participating in fraudulent activity. So I watch it, and sure enough, in 5 to 7 days, the account or the check reverses, or the deposit reverses. I'm like, sweet, you know, like I caught them. You know, I think that's great, because if I catch them on that first one, they're not going to do it again. Anyway, so I do call the member at that point. Usually, it just depends. Sometimes I just see right through it, and I'm like, deny. But sometimes I want to hear their side of the story. And it's usually like, this is how all the stories go. I had my card, and then I lost it, and I don't remember where I put it, or where it could have gone, or who could have used it. I'm terrified. You know, I deposited this money, and it's just all gone. All of it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I tell him, well, it looks like it was pen based, you know, a pen was used. Like, oh yes, I wrote the pen on the back of the card. Oh, really? You did? I'm sorry that you did that. You know, I just kind of go along with it. Even though I can see right through it. But I just like to hear what they say about it. You know, just to kind of catch them off guard. Anyway, so that's been happening a lot. And in essence, they're not getting their money back. And unfortunately, there's a lot of, sometimes there's innocent and sometimes there's like guilty people in this. They know exactly what they're doing. Other times there's a fraudster out there that says, hey, you know, if I give you $5,000, you can keep $500, but just send me the $4,500. So they withdraw the money, they go to like a Bitcoin ATM, they transfer the funds via that Bitcoin address, which is very unfortunate that fraudsters have claimed that currency, because they've been able to use that to hack into financial institutions. Pretty much whoever they want to hack into, they can do that, usually with cryptocurrency. But so when that happens, though, the member is losing out on a lot of funds. Like that's in their name. You know, that's going to affect their credit if they can't pay it back. But with that said, like, I just want to caution everyone, like, don't accept an email or anything that might look suspicious. If it's too good to be true, it's not true, guys. It's not. You know, I wouldn't want anyone to be a victim of this sort of fraud, because, you know, it is hard nowadays to pay off $5,000. You know, most people have to do it in like 2 years or a half a year. It just depends on what they do. Most of these people, though, they don't work, and that's why they're reaching out. You know, it's like Americans are very vulnerable right now because of the the economy and job situation and the way that the government keeps sending out checks. As long as we do that, we're going to continue in this situation. And as long as wages are not going to counteract the inflation, we're going to be in this situation. But there's that. And then also there's people that try and claim the same merchant as fraud on, you know, a second card and a third card month after month. And it's like, you know, we catch them on the second card usually, and we're able to reverse that original credit that was given. You know, it's just crazy how people think that they can get away with this and continue to submit these claims. But that's all that I really wanted to talk about. And honestly, it's fun talking about these fraudulent trends. It's fun to share with others what you shouldn't do, and then also like kind of talk about just the different situations that I run into. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and peace be with you. Have fun spending, but be careful how you spend your money.